Smize? Mm-hmm. You want to repeat that, officer? I must have misheard you. It is 3 a.m. after all. Speak up now. You've already gone through all this trouble waking me and my pet up. Are you sure the overnight officers aren't just looking for something new and exciting and jumping to conclusions? Surely someone who is as prominently known as Vivian Few couldn't have just disappeared into thin air. Even someone who isn't as prominently known as her wouldn't disappear without a trace in this society. Even the pet that I've taken in still has a trail leading up to them being in my special care, away from the rest of the smiling society. You must have overlooked something. Check again, and I'm sure you'll find there was an accident at the refill station. What kind of accident? Passed out? What was the cause? Vivian Few. Exhausted to the point of passing out? Is that the assumption people have? Unlikely. She's the most energetic happiness host that I've ever seen. Exhaustion isn't in her vocabulary. I wouldn't be surprised if she managed to dose herself to the point that she couldn't feel exhaustion. What was done after she passed out? Was she taken to the hospital? She was supposed to be, meaning she didn't make it to the hospital. Who took her? Of course you don't know. That's why I'm being called. I'm sure this is one big misunderstanding. Take a pill, officer. You sound like you're getting negative. We'll have Vivian back and working by the end of the week, guaranteed. And this will all be behind us. Focus on the excitement of a new task, won't you? I'll be down at the station in less than an hour. Have a coffee waiting. That's my pet. Happy to see me. As always, good. Yes, I am home early. I decided that the case I'm working on needed to be taken home instead of being handled at the station. The station is currently in a bit of disarray with what's recently been revealed. No, it wouldn't have been spoken about on any type of media. If the news came out, it would send the public in a panic, and that's the last thing that we need. Our job is to keep our communities happy, which involves handling situations that arise quietly. You're curious to know. Are you sure? It's quite unpleasant, but then again, it should not cause you any worry as you are the safest under my care. Very well. Do you remember some time ago when I received a late-night call about Vivian Few, your old happiness host? Well, it turns out that she was kidnapped by a downer. We've been trying to track them down for weeks, but they've evaded us at every turn. They're smart to have gotten Vivian out of all the other happiness hosts, so we aren't too surprised that it's taking us some time to find them. She's a smart girl, and she was deceived by a downer who knew how to play the part. Always smiling, always laughing. That no one was the wiser. It's been found that people have started to go missing after Vivian's disappearance. We still aren't sure if they're connected, but we have reason to believe that if it isn't the same downer, that these downers are working together. They're planning something. It's been speculated that they're kidnapping citizens and turning them into downers themselves. Rest assured, when we finally get our hands on them, we're going to drive needles far into their veins and pump them with happiness serum for weeks on end. It's kind. Too kind for the trouble they're causing. But our job is to serve, and I'm looking forward to serving them until their mouths split from smiling and their throats go raw and useless from their laughter. Enough about that. I don't want to overwhelm that little head of yours. On the subject of raw throats, how about you scurry on to the room so I can relieve some stress before I get started up on these cases again, Daddy's home early again, pet. Lucky, lucky you. Oh, what's wrong? Aren't you happy to see me? I'm happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you. I just had a day at work. A day like no other day. You should have been there, pet. I came into the station, ready to work on the missing persons case, when we get a breakthrough. We receive a call from the smiling scientist that someone broke into the labs. Do you want to know who that someone is? It was a downer. We aren't sure if it's the downer connected to Vivian yet, but it was a downer nonetheless. The scientists were able to catch them and keep them locked in one of the private labs until we were able to go down and apprehend them. Oh, I was excited, so excited. I was finally going to get my hands on them, finally dose them up until the serum gushed from their eyes like thick, happy tears. But then, you won't believe what they told me, pet. They told me that they caught the downer too late, and the job that they had broken into the labs was already completed. They corrupted tens of thousands of gallons of the happiness component that goes into the pills and the serums. Isn't that just something? While we were outside of the labs and the station looking for them, they were right inside waiting. The kidnappings were a diversion. They didn't want to turn 1 or 2 people into downers. No, they wanted to sabotage everyone by cutting the community off at the source. People will be looking to refill soon, and we have nothing to give them. And we have nothing to give ourselves. The scientists will be working around the clock to work on new vats of the happiness component, along with attempting to save what was corrupted. But I was told that it was going to take days in the best case scenario. I don't have to tell you how it is when people are without their pills for days, now do I? You've had experience with the withdrawal until you learned to handle it, but the difference is, you wanted to be off the pills. And most of the good people of the community don't. These next few days are going to be hell on earth if the placebos that the scientists propose don't work. Am I all right? Am I all right? Of course, I'm all right. Why wouldn't I be all right, pet? I'm head officer of the positivity police for a reason. This smile isn't going to leave my face. It isn't. Pills or no pills. The placebo effect is starting to wear off on the people, pet. The scientists have managed to get a few batches out, but it isn't enough. They won't be supplementing the police until after the public has been dealt with. It's a good day to be a public servant. I've been going over the possible motivations. The downer hasn't been talking. They're in better spirits than most of my men. What a turn of events. Tell me, pet, was it worth it? Was skipping out on your pills to feel something other than happiness worth the consequences? Because I'm failing to understand the appeal of these other feelings. Happiness! I'm feeling happiness! Any other feelings that are coming from the withdrawal of the pills are irrelevant and will not be spoken about. Do you understand? That was a sudden outburst, wasn't it? It was unlike me, but you provoked it. You shouldn't have asked such questions at a time like this. I've been very patient with you, pet. It's your turn to be patient with me. But what? Why do you insist on making this more difficult for me? Haven't I done all in my power to keep you happy? Do you not want to keep me happy during time where it's most needed? It's only right to return the favor. Selfish, selfish, pet. Trying to make me less than the perfect image of head officer will not get you more attention from me. You know, being on your knees in front of me and begging is a much more effective way to get what you want. What's there to see? You've seen all of me, pet. As I've seen all of you. I'm most myself when I'm happy. Just like everyone else is. There is no purpose to seeing someone any other way. It will only cause problems. When someone is happy, they're at their best. Why would you want to be someone at any less than their best? The happiness we create is real. You can see it, you can feel it. Just because it comes in a pill doesn't mean it's any less real. Humans need the help of pills to stay happy every second of the day. We as humans help countless other species like dogs and cats. We are more than in the right to help ourselves. We live our best lives in the state of happiness, and yet, people try to ruin it. People try to see the other side where the grass is not green. It's a shame, isn't it? How people can't allow themselves to have nice things. How people are obsessed with wanting to torture themselves when they can just be happy. You're pushing me, pet. There is no need to feel these feelings. No need to talk about these feelings. You, along with the other downers, have something wrong with them that needs to be fixed. I'm fixing you and the officers, and the scientists will fix the rest of the downers. Happiness is the only way to live, and we will see it through. If people don't want happiness, then they don't get to live. Your head has grown over these few days since you've been off your pills as well. You're getting cocky, less behaved. You forget that I own you. Pills or no pills, you're mine. If you want to play this game with all these filthy, inferior feelings, then fine. I'll play this game with you. It's been a while since I felt angry, and now I've got the perfect toy to take it out on. Go get my gun.